that in there. Okay. Just going to put on some music here, and I still want to do that. I was talking about Doc Peterson and his music and his presence here on WSTX. You know, it's like you have people in your life and in person, and then in a flash of an eye, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, they're gone. Okay.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that. And so that's why I tell people do the random act of kindness now, and if you're feeling kind of bored, do the premeditated ones too, because love's in need of love all the time. And once folks are gone, even the ones you can't stand, you can't talk to them again. At least last I know you can't. Okay, so that's one of the things I tell people. Make sure that you take the time out to do these things. I know at the Landmark Society, they used to have and plan to have again this year a program called Come Home to St. Croix. And that's a very great thing that they do in terms of getting people to come to an event and see things that culturally and otherwise reminiscent of living in St. Croix. It gives them also a chance when they come to catch up on things, whether it's the Armstrong ice cream or the beach or whatever the case may be. So I'm kind of looking forward to having something like that go on.
As you said, so the Armstrong ice cream, that's the one thing I introduced my friend to yet.
There's time.
Yeah.
Creator willing, there's time.
Sure.
Okay. So Doc sings this song about come to St. Croix.
Come to St. Croix, yeah. When you were talking about it, I was like, I wonder if you can play that song.
Well, I have to confess, I ain't born it in a long time. Now, our culture now, that like the phoenix don't rise from the ashes so many times. But yeah, I'm gonna play that just as a matter of, I think it's always appropriate. We have our arms wide open, the good old-fashioned crucial hung up, and hospitality and everything else. Hey, and there is no place like St. Croix. So anyhow, let me just give the folks a little bit of that, and then we'll come back.
I'm always meeting people who wants me to recommend a holiday resort for them when they have vacation to spend. I always tell them truly, if you want to have fun and joy, visit the Virgin Islands, the queen of them all, St. Croix. Hey, St. Croix is a lovely island, yes, St. Croix, ideal for vacation. How can you miss an opportunity like this, Mr. Tourist? I'm going to insist, boy, come to St. Croix, oh Lordy, come to St. Croix, oh boy, come to St. Croix. Why you talking? For snorkeling and sailing, it is my belief you will be enchanted by the lovely Buck Island Reef. Then back to your hotel, so comfortable and clean. You never want to go back home, you want to stay here in the Caribbean. St. Croix, for duty-free liquor. Yes, St. Croix, perfume and jewelry is cheaper. How can you miss an opportunity like this, Mr. Tourist? I'm going to insist. What you say? Come to St. Croix, oh Lord. Come to St. Croix, aha. Come to St. Croix. Why you talking? coat man, yeah. Hey boy, Calypso and Stefan will tell you it's carnival. Beauty queens parading. I say you can't miss this festival. It starts around Christmas until January the 8th. So make your reservations now before it gets too late. St. Croix, if you like sea bathing. St. Croix, for spearfishing and some riding. How can you miss an opportunity like this, Mr. Tourist? I'm going to insist. While you're talking, come to St. Croix, oh boy. Come to St. Croix. Bring your mother, bring down your father and your brother. Don't forget your sister. Come to St. Croix. Oh, Lord, Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Eugene Doc Peterson.
Yes, just had everybody there, the music going, and just I guess something happened and the music is over. Folks, yes, you're here with WSTX AM 970, and I've got some folks here from the Women's Coalition, and their guests is Jennifer Matarangas King, among others. And Deborah, you hearing me out there? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about the women's race coming up, among other things, and I'm looking forward to it. I try to get out there for all the races and check them out. It's great to see the camaraderie that is out there, the people catching up, the just good old-fashioned fun of whether it's walking, pushing a stroller, running to get the best time, whatever level they want to be involved in, everybody is welcome. And of course, I know that they're doing a component to that, a virtual component to that. So I've got Karen Hunt, who's going to be connecting with us, and Deborah Benjamin. All right, and I'm listening for your audio. Are you hearing me? Mm-hmm. Okay. No, let's see what's up here. No, we got the plug up here, and if we had music, that means that we can have audio. Hmm?
They are muted?
They're unmuted, and I don't have a picture, so I can't gesture to them in that way. Okay, so okay, all right. Miss Hunt, can you hear me?
The phone.
Okay, let me just try a thing here.
Hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you well now. Okay, so we're gonna improvise. We're gonna improvise here, and make sure that your voice is well connected here in the studio. Okay. All right, so we're here with reps from the Women's Coalition. Ms. Hunt, will you go ahead and introduce yourself to the community, please?
Oh, we're already on air.
Yes, ma'am. Ready to go.
Good morning. My name is Karen Hunt, and I am the Executive Director of Virgin Islands Partners for Healthy Communities, and I'm also the Chair of the Board for the Women's Coalition. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. And
Good morning.
Glad to have you here. If I caught you off guard there for a moment, please forgive
You
me.
did. Because I thought I was early. I was told to be present at 9:30,
Oh,
and let me get on so that I can be available.
okay. All right.
That's what that's about.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a what happened is that we at one point in time we had a previous show scheduled for 9:30, so there probably was a communication issue in that regards. So sorry about that, but okay. And we have Women's Coalition on the line also. Who do we have here for Women's Coalition? Okay, I guess they're doing something else. Anyhow,
I think when I saw it before, I think
Deborah.
it was Benjamin.
Yeah, Deborah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Good morning, Debbie. You hearing me?
Good morning. Can
Good.
you hear me now?
I'm hearing you well right now. Thank you. So glad to have you here with us here today. As we,
Thank you for having us.
yeah, well, WSTX keeps their doors open for the Women's Coalition. We want to make sure, in the same way that you're there for the rest of the community, that we can serve to help to get the word out and get the community engaged and involved in the very important mission of the Women's Coalition. Yes. All right. So, women's run coming up.
Yes.
All right. So, tell us a little bit about what we have planned for the women's run.
So, Debbie, would you like to answer that, or would you like me to?
Okay, I'm not hearing Debbie for some. Debbie, you need to. You're muted.
The floor is yours, Karen. Go right ahead.
The upcoming women's race, this is our, what year, Debbie?
It's the 39th annual women race, and we're back in Frederiksted this year. And it is a hybrid event happening virtually on June 2nd and 3rd for people, women and girls who want to register and participate anywhere in the world. And on the 4th, Sunday in Frederiksted for the live race. And we're very, very excited to bring this community event back in person, as well as with the virtual option once again.
All right, fantastic. Well, we talk about the women's race, and you all make it sound so simple, and I can understand, because you're involved in all of the work and the running here and the coordinating and the communicating and getting everything together. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit from the layman's perspective, observing what's going on. Because first thing, folks, when you come down to Frederiksted, there's this convergence of the multitude. All right, there's a convergence of the multitude. Men, women, children, everybody down there. And they go through the registration process, getting all their tags and everything else, so they can be identified when they run and everything else, all the formalities. But then they get into the program, and I see the program as being two things. First is the Zumba workout. Yes, you want to see Virgin Islands spirit going up to the sky, out to the sea, all around, and just like the men are there watching and saying, well, how come you don't have a men's race, right? Well, hey, men, you got something to work on, right? But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And they get out there and they do their exercising and everything, warm up and everything. And then just when it's getting good and you're saying, hey, we could do this for another 2 or 3 hours, it's the time to go and race, folks. No, not 2 or 3 hours, but you know what I mean. And the race itself, when you see everybody line up and take off down the road, there are a couple of things that you also notice. That above and beyond the fact that it's a community event, the government agencies are out there in support. The VI police are out there to make sure that the roads are secure and safe. The Department of Health, they have an ambulance out there and other ancillary people making sure that they follow the racers down and back up, make sure that help is always close by in the event that it's needed. And thank the Creator, it's not been needed, but it's there. I say that I know of. But, and then it come down to where everybody's coming back in from the race. Now, vision people, the Virgin Islands, the waterfront in Frederiksted, that pretty blue-green water, the sun glistening off of it, and all of these folks who just saying, wow, I've got to jump up and buy a ticket and come right now. This is happening here, and we live here and otherwise can enjoy it. So, when you come down to that waterfront and you see those folks coming in and the folks start cheering and everything else, I mean, once upon a time, somebody told me there were some guys down there with pom-poms and tutus, and I was tempted to join them, but really, it's really, really great. So I just wanted to give that lay observer perspective of what's going on for the community, and then you can take it from there.
Well, and I did want to say quickly good morning again to everybody. Yes, I was definitely raised right. And to welcome our board chair, Karen Hunt, to the conversation. And Jennifer Matarangas King of VIA, who was our premier sponsor this year, to this conversation, because it's very exciting. As you were talking about this community event, our community partners do so much to make it possible. for this event to happen every year. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge that these two amazing women are on the conversation with us today.
All right.
Good morning,
And I would
Deborah.
just love to acknowledge your promo. I mean, you made me excited in your description. I was like, okay, job well done, because what came to my mind as you were speaking is the fun of the event. And it really is fun, and it is fun with a purpose. And this is an event, imagine, that has been going on for 39 years and still has great momentum. And we are so grateful to our sponsors, and particularly VIA, because they definitely, as Debbie pointed out, are our premier sponsor. And I always have to go back and give credit to Mary Mingus and Wallace Williams, because they were the original planners, creators, arbiters of this event. And it's wonderful to know that when you plant something and it lives on and it becomes institutionalized in a community, and it is promoting something that is so needed and has contributed so much to the health and well-being of the community.
That's I want to second that emotion as to those last words in particular. It means so much to the community, and I just want to just blow WSTX horn just a little bit here, because we love to big up the women's race and all the things that the Women's Coalition does also. So we really happy to have you here talking about it. I'm looking forward to the community involvement that goes on down there, and the spirit, everything that happens down there. So what time talk about the times, if for a quick minute here. What time?
Well, a little aside. Doug Canton and WSTX are always generous in allowing us to come on to the show to share information with the community. He never says no. He was the producer of that amazing ad that you see on all the VIA stations. He is the definition of a community partner in so many ways, because he sees the responsibility and the connection between making positive good happen and action from all of us in the community, because it takes all of us to make it happen. The Women Race, for people who are participating virtually from anywhere in the world, and we already have teams from Texas and from Arizona. So big up Texas and Arizona for getting in the mix. The virtual race is tomorrow and Saturday. They can register and do their 2 miles wherever they are, indoors or outdoors, on a treadmill, dancing around the living room, on a hiking trail, and they must have their time posted by Saturday, June 3rd at 11:59 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. That's our time here, right? In order for their results to be a part of the live race, which happens on Sunday, June 4th in Frederiksted at the waterfront. And we start our warm-up about 4:45 p.m. with Zumba Queen Roxanne Serrano, and the race starts at 5 p.m. and it's a 2-mile race going through Frederiksted and back, ending at the finish line on the waterfront.
All right. And folks, you got to see it. That's all I got to say. If you haven't been to the women's race, you have to see it. It's one of those, like if you go to Africa to see the Great Migration, you got to come to St. Croix to see the women's race, okay? And you don't have to go to Africa to see something unique and otherwise touching and leaving you moved in that sense, in terms of Virgin Island spirit and goodwill out there. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and let me just point out also that women and girls can register, but everyone can participate. You know, you can, if you are not able to register, if you're not a woman or a girl, you can do the 2 miles in support of them. You can cheer them on, as Doug says, with your pom-poms. You know, you can sponsor a racer, because there are those in our community who it would be a hardship for them to register, but they would love to participate. We also have victims and survivors who participate year after year. So your sponsorship of a racer really means a lot and is a direct action for change. Registration fees, pre-registration is $20. On race day, registration is $25. And you can do it online. We have a pop-up registration coming up on Saturday at Neighborhood Pharmacy, the Market STX, and Kmart East. So if you're out between 10 a.m. and 12 noon, you can go to those spaces, and our amazing staff and volunteers will be available to help you register and get you your snazzy Women Race t-shirt so you're ready for Sunday. But if you cannot do it until Sunday, registration starts around 3 p.m. and it's right in front of Fort Frederick, and it's $25 to register on that day, or $25 for a t-shirt. And please know that the proceeds from the Women Race help the programs, the advocacy, and the services that are provided to victims and survivors of violence and families in need in our communities. So again, your registration is a direct action. You're participating, you're running, jumping, skipping, hopping, dancing, walking, jogging. Show support for someone who has experienced violence or who is experiencing violence and is in the phases of healing. So you're always doing something for our community, yours and mine.
Okay.
And I am complete.
All right, good thing. I just want to say that and Deborah, you know this. I love to big up the folks who support Women's Coalition and the various events. And I want to segue up to hearing from the Ms. Madarangas King by saying something you've heard me say so many times before. Folks, this is not just an event. This is community taking care of community.
Yes.
Women's Coalition is here 24/7, 366 days a year. They have on-call professional people who are there confidentially to assist you. And I say that, folks, I can tell you firsthand through the people that I know that Women's Coalition was there for. You just never know who, in a blink of an eye, violence can occur in a home or some other situation where sometimes when it happens, a person is just totally confused, don't know where to turn. Had a person come to me like that, and I took their hand and guided them, took him right over to Women's Coalition, and they were able to assist that person. That's my real life experience. And you just never know when.
Could I ask a question?
Let me finish here. When Women's Coalition is out here having an event, if you as a corporate sponsor, as an individual sponsor, as just a community volunteer can do something to help, know that you are helping your community. So those who can give, whether it's of their time or of their money or both, I commend you when you do, simply because you're taking care of our community. And I'm going to give my usual disclaimer, all right? I ain't looking at John. All right? I'm this is straight from the heart, telling you about what these people do and why you should support. You know, not looking for a job, just telling it like it is. All right, Jared, you had something you wanted to.
Yeah, just a question or that would give information to the listening public. Deborah.
Yeah, she's listening.
Hey Jerry, how you do?
I'm great. Listen, if my girlfriend home beating me up, right? Could I come to the Women's Coalition?
I'm sorry, Jerry. Someone knocked on the door just as you were talking. Can you repeat the question?
I was saying, if my girlfriend, I'm a man, if my girlfriend home abusing me, could I come to the Women's Coalition and get help?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Women's Coalition helps victims and survivors of all genders, gender identities, sexual orientations, age. We are a non-discriminatory organization. If you are experiencing harm or you have experienced harm, we are here to help you. That's why we're here. And we will not turn away someone because they are male. Absolutely.
I just wanted the public to know that, because people are under the impression that you guys only help the females.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
exactly.
no. It's called the Women's Coalition of St. Croix because women were involved in the start of the organization. It was at a women's conference that the idea even began.
Okay.
It's for people.
For people. That's important. That's an important point, Jared. I'm so glad that
Yeah.
you put it that
Yes.
way. Because it causes people to think and realize that it really is about community, men, women, and children. Now I have Miss Matarangas King here in the studio with us. So I'm first of all thank you for spearheading Via's involvement. I'm putting it that way. I say you, meaning corporate, and you personal,
Sure.
because I know of your personal commitment in the community. And we here in St. Croix in particular, maybe more than any place else, we just love Melly. So I gonna ask you for the skinny on, how you are connected with Women's Coalition, and I don't just mean now because it's a
Sure.
long-term connection, and how it has blossomed and leading up to your sponsorship this year.
Okay, well, first of all, good morning, everyone. Special good morning to Team Via, and we will have a Team Via at the Women Race. We're coming strong this year. So good morning, everyone. Good morning to our community. My name is Jennifer Matarangas King. I am the Vice President of Public Relations and Governmental Affairs for Via, and I have to say, Via is so proud to be the premier sponsor for the Women Race, and I think everyone knows that we have historically supported the work that's being done at the Women's Coalition, whether it was Vitelco, Innovative, and our most recent iteration, Via. We have been there. Like many organizations that we work with, obviously during COVID, there was a bit of a lull in terms of engagement, full engagement for activities like this for obvious reasons. But last November, we were able to re-engage fully with the Women's Coalition. Our CEO, Geraldine Pitt, was invited to speak at the annual meeting, and it was wonderful. It was a great opportunity for us to fully re-engage and pledge our commitment all the way from our CEO. And she was back in February to do a workshop on empowerment regarding financial self-sufficiency. So, for us, I think if you were to sum up Via in 3 words, it would be quite simply connectivity, collaboration, and community. And this type of event is a perfect example of that. And when we say connectivity, it's in the purest sense of the word. Connectivity, that's what we do, but we're definitely beyond the products and services. Collaboration with organizations like the Women's Coalition, and of course serving our community. And I think this is, for us, the kinds of events and the kinds of organizations that we like to support, because the Women's Coalition, what they're doing, you are correct, it's beyond women, it's about families, it's about community and taking care of folks. So we're happy to be here for this specific event. We are on as a sponsor, and I think many people have figured out by now, when we sponsor an event, it's more than just showing up, doing a check presentation. We don't do that. I mean, that may be one of the things that we do, but more importantly, if you have an event and we're sponsoring it, we want to be sure it's a success. So we were very happy. One of the first things I said to Deborah, I said, get me the commercial that we can put. And I think if you watch via cable TV, you have been seeing the ad everywhere. We wanted to be sure that this event was advertised in all mediums, and we wanted to do our best to promote. Once again, Senator Canton, thank you for the beautiful spot that you
My
produced.
pleasure.
And so, I've gotten a lot of feedback. I spoke to Clemma. Clemma watches a lot. She said, girl, I'm seeing it everywhere. But that's what we want to do, because for these kind of events, we want to be sure that everyone knows about it. A lot of times there's an amazing event coming up and you hear people say, oh, it's today, I didn't know. Or the day after, oh, if I had known. So we want to take away those excuses so everyone can know. So obviously, we're a sponsor. We were happy to help market the event. We will have a team there, so we will be walking, racing. I had a number of employees say, okay, I'm not that fast. I said, neither am I, but we're going to be there to support. So we're going to be coming out. Team Via will be there. And we will be doing a special presentation at the event, because at the end of the day, money is needed to run this organization. As you mentioned, Women's Coalition is 24/7. They don't take a break. And that type of endeavor It's very important, but it's also very costly. And so we also want to show our financial support, so we will be doing a special presentation on that day. But on behalf of the VIA team, we're very happy, we're very excited. We are here, and this is just one of the many ways that we're going to show our support for the Women's Coalition. So we're very excited. We're very excited, and we will be there on Sunday, and we hope that everyone who's listening will be there too to show your support.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. You know, the
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and I just want to say I think that she was a little bit modest. You know, almost everything going on here on St. Croix, and I'm talking about St. Croix. I mean, I know you're on all the islands, but on St. Croix, almost everything that you see that is community oriented, somehow or the other, you look for that little icon you see VIA in there somewhere, okay? And I'm happy to say that because, you know, the fact of the matter is when people have a concern, let's say, something that somebody might call a complaint, you got to put it in a perspective. If you have 999 and 9/10 good things going on, there's a little bit of room, something going to slip in. You can't forget all the good when that happens. You have to give kudos where kudos are due, and I have to give it to Violet. You guys are really out there. You walk the walk, and sometimes you run in when everybody else runs.
Exactly. And I do want to say thank you so much. We appreciate that. We are fully engaged and involved in our community. It's almost 200 of us. I'd like to remind everyone who has ever heard me speak, I'm a little girl from Hill Street, literally not too far from here. So, and most of our employees are too, you know, so we have a vested interest in not just, I always tell people, we are not selling products and services. Other people can do that. We are about, whether it's a residential customer or business customer, we're about connectivity. How can we help? Even in our engagement with Women's Coalition, we have spent quite a bit of time talking to them about the clients, people who you are helping. How can we help make sure that they stay connected? Because that's a big part of, as you make a move, as you are leaving an abusive situation, as you are shifting in a lot of the work that they do, connectivity is an important part of that. You need to have, for your safety, for your health, if you're getting and keeping employment, connectivity is a core piece of that. And a part of our conversation beyond these kinds of events, the day-to-day things that are happening. If someone comes in, she needs assistance, does she have the tools that she needs to have to move forward? And connectivity is a big part of that. And we have been working with the Women's Coalition, making sure that all of the clients are aware of our affordable connectivity program. If you're receiving some type of federal funds, food stamps, SNAP, WIC, Medicaid, and you need assistance, there is a program that, regardless of your financial situation, you can have connectivity if you're receiving federal funds. That was a very important part of our engagement with them because we know the situation where many people are leaving and they have nothing. You know, the phone, the internet, whatever it is that you need to keep you connected, what's belong to someone else, or is it someone, if you're cutting ties, how can you? So for us, the conversation is more than just these events, but day to day, how can we help them help the people who are coming in? So, you know, when we look at things, we're not just interested in throwing up a banner and saying that we were here, but beyond the race, what's the conversation that we're having next week and the month after that? You know, and not just the signature moments, but constant conversation. So that's why it may appear that we're everywhere, but for us, we really are vested in the community. I like to remind everybody, the VI is actually in our name, and it's first.
VIA?
So VI every day, yeah. So, you know, for us, we are passionate about our community because we are of the community. We're not just doing business here. We are the VI.
All right. And I want to say that you have some special services that you provide to the community in terms of accessibility to services, and in particular folks who are financially challenged, socially otherwise challenged, and in collaboration with the federal government, there are monies that are available to provide certain services. It may make the difference for that child who has to do remote learning at some given point in time.
Absolutely.
It may make the difference for that person who is basically being cared for, and their ability to have their own phone to be able to keep in touch with family and everything else. So I am aware in that sense that you touch the community in a lot of substantive and important ways. All right. Well, folks, I'm not too great on taking compliments sometimes in the sense of, you mentioned the video, but it was really something of inspiration, and it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. When you watch it all unfold, it's more than just an event. It's a community movement, and it was out of inspiration in that sense. And so I'm happy that it got the word across, the vision across, and yes, it's on there all the time. It's on there all the time. So
Good.
see,
That's how it should
You're
be.
the one responsible for me hearing it and all them radio stations. Oh, no one knows who it is.
all right. Yes. Well, we want to get the word out. You know, I want somebody to come and fly their drone and question come after. Wait, no, you had Juve on the phone. Yes, they're gonna have people out there like we used to say, like peas,
Like
like peas. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to that, and happy to have you here in the studio, and definitely happy to be able to in person say thank you for the things that you through VIA do in our community. Continue to do.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. It's our mission. So thank you, and we will be there. Out there on Sunday, Team VIA, very, very excited to be participating and supporting the Women's Coalition and all of the life-changing and life-saving work that they do.
I like to put my plug in for VIA, okay? Because as a blind individual, I got VIA internet. I got 150 megabit speed.
Thank you.
Everything in my house is connected.
Thank
From
you.
the smart speaker to the this, the that.
Wonderful.
So I need that connectivity,
Thank you.
and I get it with VIA.
Thank you. I have
Okay.
to. I will talk to you later. We need to get you for a testimonial.
Okay.
I get
But
it
thank
with
you.
VIA. So I
Thank
got to
you.
put my plug in and
Thank
say
you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
keeping me connected.
Wonderful. That's what we're about. That's
And-
what we're about.
While I'm at it, officer said, while he's at it, you know, connectivity is that much more important. You see Jerry out on the road, and Jerry always sharp, okay? You never see Jerry clashing anywhere, okay? And technology is such that he come out of his house always looking sharp. But speaking on a broader level, things like our libraries, connectivity is important, but whenever you have someone in your home that relies on technology, very often you need a higher level of bandwidth, and VIA's range of availability and bandwidth is very important in that sense, because if they're reading books through what's the one you can use from your cell phone? Bard is important to you, as it very well is to a lot of folks who are visually impaired. They need the bandwidth. Their social life is very much tied up in the technology. And so it's important. And I'm saying that, folks in government, I hope you're listening, because sometimes they're looking about what's the cheapest way to go, and I'm saying no, think quality of life.
Yes.
When you think the libraries, especially the library for the blind and the physically handicapped, and you think libraries, think in terms of the bandwidth. And in that context, Jared could tell the story better than me as to what the needs are in the community. And in this case, VIA, we're glad how you stepped up and risen to the occasion to meet those needs.
Thank you.
Okay?
And I would just like to add on to that. We are so appreciative of Mrs. Matarangas King and the entire VIA organization, because we're not just grateful for the check. Don't get me wrong, that is wonderful. But what I love about VIA's assistance is that they engage everybody. That commitment, that coming out, that showing out as a team, coming in as a team, providing other assistance to the clients, and really taking ownership of community. That is priceless to us, and just wanted you to know that we are so grateful for you and Vaya and your CEO for this commitment to us. It has meant a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
It's
right.
our pleasure.
Yes, folks, only on WSTX. You know I'm going to be like that and say it that way. But the fact of the matter is, if it comes to going out on the road, Vaya will go everywhere to get the word out. In that
Very
sense.
true.
But right now I could be selfish and say only on WSTX. All right, and take advantage of it while we can. And I just want to say that in terms of community impacting developments in the area of telecommunications, right? We make it a point here to talk about community oriented things that are impacting the community. So if there are any developments, feel free, send something here to WSTX and put the Canton on the bottom of it to make sure, the others might want to talk politics or whatever, but I like to talk about the things that are making the quality of life better here in the Virgin Islands, okay?
Absolutely.
We'd be happy to talk about that. And don't take it for granted that because some of the programs like what might help Jared or someone of what we call lower income to get services, telecommunication services that you're putting out in other ways. Don't take it for granted that coming into WSTX or sharing the information is not going to make that big a difference. And I say that it all matters, and we're happy to have the information. And help you get it
Absolutely.
out.
No, absolutely. And we always have some exciting, in fact, there's a big announcement being made next week, but it's in partnership with someone else. So stay tuned early in the week. So
Okay.
then we'll come back and talk about that. We have a lot going on.
And it's always about community, you
Yes.
know. So in that sense, we're not myopic. It has to be WSX. It's
Sure.
about community. No,
Absolutely.
our reputation is about serving the community, just like yours. In that sense, and we're happy to help get the word out. And
If I could just interject there, I also wanted to say in terms of the partnership with the Women's Coalition of St. Croix, it's the long-term investment for me. When Jennifer met with us, she so eloquently and in a heartfelt way let us know that VIA is invested for the long haul. That they want to continue to help us share information about the services that we provide the community, about any events that we have going on, any themes that we have. And for me personally, I feel very grateful that a company of VIA's standing in the community understands the legacy and the need, the necessity for that community involvement, that connection with us as an organization, with the victims and survivors that we serve and the families in need, and that this is something that you have to have vision for the future in order for us to eradicate and eliminate violence, oppression, and all of the isms that prevent us from being a fully healthy and thriving community that encourages and enables healthy relationships. So it's really the long-term investment that absolutely delights me about our connection with VIA. So thank you, Jennifer and VIA, once again for that.
well, my time is almost up, so I want to give Vaya through Jennifer the floor for the last few minutes here, and any special words of parting in the process with regards to the women's run and other things in the community.
Well, before I wrap up, I'd just like to say thank you for this opportunity to come on here. I am so thrilled. We are looking forward to the event on Sunday. We will be fully participating, and I encourage everyone who's listening, it's not too late. You can still sign up, get your T-shirt, come on out and support, because the work that the Women's Coalition is doing, this is about not just women, but families. I do not think there is anyone listening that has not some way, shape, or form been affected and influenced in some way by the work that the Women's Coalition. So this is not something that it's for some other group. This is something that affects all of us, one way or the other, in terms of our quality of life. So it's our issue. We need to own it, and we need to support the Women's Coalition because of the amazing work that they're doing. It's one of those activities that it's good. You get some exercise. You get a chance to fellowship, perhaps with some people that you haven't seen. Many of us are finally getting out there since the pandemic fully. But more importantly, you are going to feel good because you're supporting a great organization that has amazing initiatives. So on behalf of the VIA team, we'll be there on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing everyone. And I hope that everyone comes out and supports. This is important. It can be life-changing, life-altering, life-saving. And I think on Sunday, we'll all feel really good that we participated. So Team VIA will be in the house. And we are here, as Deborah said, for the long term to support the Women's Coalition's initiatives. And we're very, very proud to be a sponsor.
All right. Well, Debbie, thank you for roping her into coming in with us here today. I know, I got to put my exaggeration on it. You can tell, from the time she walked in, it was like, wow, I'm ready. I'm so happy to be here. The vibe was there. All right. But thank you.
She's always like that, which I love too.
Yes. Thank you for.
I want to be like her when I grow up.
For your involvement with the women's run and her getting her in here today with us. And Ms. Hunt, glad to have you with us also.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. And don't be a stranger. I know the board is behind the scenes making everything happen, I understand, but don't be a stranger. Say that to all the members of the board in that sense. Anytime they want to have a couple of words in, we're here for you, okay?
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for the support. It means so much to us.
All right, great, fantastic, outstanding. Wait. What kind of thing is Sunday?
Sunday, June 4th, 4:45 p.m., Frederickstead. It's not too late to register, everybody.
All right, okay. Well,
WCSTX.org.
I just wanted to share the fact that I keep hearing out this Team VIA. I want everybody to know that it's not true, but Team WSTX has been beating up on Team VIA for the last 8 years. Okay? So, just wanted to make sure that we get that nonsense out there.
I don't pay this grumpy old man no mind.
Anyhow, the rivalry is all good. It's all about community. It takes me back to the good old days. I beat him coming and going with marbles, but we were still friends. Okay. Anyhow, folks. All right. Do your random act of kindness, and if you're feeling kind of bored, do some premeditated acts of kindness also. All right? Love's in need of love every day. And follow VIA. Get involved, corporate and citizens of the Virgin Islands, in some aspect of our nonprofits and social organizations and make the difference in our community. Thank you. Until next time.
Thanks, Doug.
All right.
All right, thank you. See you at the race.
All right, you'll be here.
AM 960 WSTX. Continuous music variety.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Chinsura Davies Kahina,
And then I had to beat you all with the relay stick. That's what happened. That was the outcome of the situation.
Tonight on beautiful St. Croix. It's no
Because
secret
no one could
that
handle it.
Caribbean culture and its diaspora are undergoing another renaissance. Our values, calls for self-determination, and engagement platforms are reaching a global audience more than ever. For folks like us, CSA 2023 is designed to help future-proof the movement for the next generation of academics, artists, activists, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. Get involved by registering as our guest, an exhibitor, or a conference sponsor. Let's renew those relationships this summer and continue to celebrate the best of us. Join me at the CSA 2023, June 5th to 9th on St. Croix, Virgin Islands. It will be our pleasure to welcome you all. Ashe.
Whether you're looking for a locally owned restaurant with good vibes and good people, a place to grab a meal to eat at your desk, a domino game, or dinner for the family, Chicken Shack is the place to go. Lorraine Chicken Shack is open 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Wednesday and 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thursday through Saturday.
Your chin chicken, Lauren chicken shop. Your chicken tasty and it's a fact.
It's time for bug eliminating. All the bug exterminating. When island's best become unwanted guests, you need number one, the island's best.
After 30 years of business, Oliver Exterminating knows how to get rid of your bugs. Guaranteed. In St. Croix or St. Thomas, Oliver Exterminating.
Pest control, pest control. Oliver Exterminating's the best. To get rid of bugs and all of your pests.
Find us on the World Wide Web.
You know what you remember again?
www.wstxradio.com.
WSTX a couple of we know.
I like the pretty women. What's wrong?
24/7 on www.wstxradio.com.
I don't care.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. WSTX, the soul of the Caribbean.
No, but we're
I bring a knife, I go slice off a piece.
St. Croix. I love the sweet Caribbean ocean breeze. There was no place where I would rather be. The fish and turtles swimming around the pier. From where I stand, I can see so clear. For reggae to soca and even Quell Bay, it makes me dance along the way. Oh, sweet St. Croix, oh, sweet St. Croix, your history is so rich. Fried fish is my favorite dish. Sugar mills to sugar cane. Oh, how I love the sweet smell of the rain. Oh, sweet St. Croix.